This video will get you up and running really fast on how to use a kilowatt power meter. What I'm going to do today, just for a quick explanation, is I'm going to compare a 60 watt incandescent bulb with a 60 watt equivalent LED bulb. And I've plugged it in there. Hold on, let me set this up on a tripod. And you might want to use a flashlight pointed right at it to help you be able to see. Set up there, and let's zoom in. So the first thing you're going to see when you plug it in is it's going to tell you what your house voltage is. It's in there about 120, you'll probably be 110, 120, something right around there. And there's various menus you can scroll through with the menu button on this side. And there's some other things you can do, but let's just do a simple startup, and I'm going to show you how to measure the voltage on bulbs, okay? So the first thing you do is, of course, plug in something. And whenever you do that, the first thing you do is hit reset, and that is telling the machine you are putting in a new appliance. And each time I screw in a new bulb, I'm going to do the same thing. And then you do this down button. First one is amps. First one is amps. And you can see you got the watts, volt amps, hertz, power factor, house line voltage 120. It's going to roll around a little bit, varies. But we're going to start off with watts. And as I said, I've got my LED bulb on here. Let's go ahead and turn this on. 4.4, okay? Now what you will need to do is, by using this menu, you need to get a reading on this bulb, or if you want a stable reading, you need to let this thing stay on for 2 minutes. So let's go over here. Tell you elapsed time. We need that to say 2 minutes. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. No sense making you watch. For 3 minutes, just for good measure. And then that's this, once again, that's where one of the menus you can scroll through over here. And we're going to go back. We want to take a look at this voltage, wattage, amperage meter. Okay, so this thing is sitting there bouncing between 4.3 and 4.4. Let's go ahead and do the incandescent bulb now. Put my incandescent bulb on there, and the first thing you do when you do that is you hit the reset. Good, right? And just for grins, let's go down and hit watts. And let's turn on our incandescent bulb, 60 watt bulb, and the 60 watt bulb runs at, lo and behold, 60 watts. So now let's go down to our elapsed time so this thing can have plenty of time to figure out what's going on. Been on there for 20 seconds. So let's let this run for about 3 minutes and get a good clear read, and I'll be back. Okay, it says go for 2 minutes. I went for 3 just for good measure. And let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go back to the voltage menu, and we go down, and let's see, it's still at 60.5, and so we're good. So that's 60 watts, so that'll measure it, and it's nice and clear. Okay, let's do a little more advanced on this now. How much does this bulb cost to run a year? Well, first of all, you have to contact your local utility and see how much your utility charges you per kilowatt hour. That's the utility's term for how much they're charging you for electricity. You can find it online, or you can just call them, and they might have 2 or 3 different rates for 3 different levels. And once you find that out, you will hit this button on the right side and hold it. And my local utility I found, let me show you what I found online. Here's a picture of it. As you can see, my local utility in the winter is charging me 8.3 cents. So this would be $1.08, but there is no dollar there. It's 0.08. So it's 8.3 cents simply. And so if you lived in Hawaii, for instance, you would use this button here to go up to 25 cents. Or if you lived in another part of the country that's a lot cheaper than that, you can go down to 4 cents. Just so happens in my part of the world, right now it is 8.3 cents. So once you have it figured and go up and down to make it right, hit this again, and it saves it. And then you can figure out how much this bulb will cost you. So you go over here and hit this button here, and you see the dollar sign come up. This is the cumulative cost, and it's only been on for a minute or so, 3 minutes, so it doesn't have a cumulative cost. If I left this on for a week, this number would start to tabulate. But 3 minutes is enough for it to figure out this, the yearly cost. See the year? This bulb at 8.3 cents per kilowatt hour will cost you $42 a year to operate. $3.46 per month, 80 cents a week, 11 cents a day, assuming you left it on 24 hours a day. If you left it on 12 hours a day, it'd be a half of that. If you left it on 6 hours a day, it'd be a fourth of that. So let's take a look at my LED bulb. Okay, so we have the LED bulb back on here, and we've left it on for the proper time. And let's get a read on how much this one cost. We saw how much the incandescent bulb cost to run for a year. So let's go down to the dollar sign for this, and let's go down here. This bulb is going to cost you $2.18 a year. Let me remind you, this is the LED bulb that I put in on my front porch. I have a video I made where I did a photo cell, and I put this out there, and this bulb runs from when it gets dark to when it gets light in the morning. It turns off by itself, so about 12 hours a day. This bulb cost me $1 a year to light my front porch up. About 17 cents a month, 4 cents a week, basically free. You can get a reading on these bulbs. Unlike a refrigerator or a stove or a TV or something, you can plug these in for just 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, and the bulb is going to stay constant because it's a 60 watt bulb or a 4 watt bulb, and it's not like a refrigerator that cycles on and off and on and off, and you get an average. After 2 or 3 minutes, you'll know how much it's going to use. Okay, so I'm going to make another video that's a little more in-depth on kilowatts and some other things, but this will get you started on how to use this thing. Hey, remember this project? That's the one where I put in the photo cell, put in the LED on my front porch, and they claim it costs pennies to run, and I just kind of blindly trusted them. But I always kind of wondered, is it really that cheap? So I was at the library working on my quantum physics project, and I saw that they rent, or not rent, but for free, you can check out these kilowatt checkers. So I said I had to check out that bulb and see if it really is as cheap as they say it is to run. And then I took a look at some videos to see if I could get up to speed quick, and of course I didn't see any that were really easy to understand, like just show me how it works. So how about I make my own video to help people that come along after me? So I'll do that.